All right, well, I don't have my broadcast partner right now.
All right,
There he is.
I'm
There he is.
here.
All right, well, we got an exciting matchup today between San Jose State and Central Michigan. San Jose State being a newcomer to the Dynasty, and Central Michigan switching teams from Michigan State, but a returning player.
Kind of a miracle these two teams are playing against each other in week one. I mean, who would have thought that San Jose State would have Central Michigan on their schedule?
Yeah, complete chance out of conference. Pretty random teams that are picked and end with a week one PvP game.
All right.
Good for
Let's
viewership.
see.
The happiest of accidents.
All right. Morty, you are gonna have to mute yourself too, though.
Yeah.
All right, takes the kickoff back to the 16, so a little behind if he would have just taken the knee.
Bold choice to bring that to the end zone. I feel like it's really difficult to actually return kicks in this game.
Yeah, yep. But this is a video game, so sometimes them yards are too appealing. Big play potential is always there, and a player I want to
That's
circle
my star right there.
is number 85 on the offense. That dude is a beast. And we're gonna circle middle
Ooh,
linebacker for Central Michigan.
what a move by the quarterback. The sophomore faked the guy out of his shoes on that scramble.
All right, shotgun set, two tight ends. He's going back across the middle. Tough catch, breaks the tackle.
You can just see the lag on that one.
All right, second and one. You could see a run, try to pick up the first down. You could see a play action. Second and one leaves you with a lot of options here.
Really opens up the playbook.
Manages to squeeze through a small little hole and pick up the first down.
Yeah, that play right there is just does just enough, just enough to move the chains. Nothing fancy, gets the job done. Just what you need out of a second and one play.
Even in a video game, you need to run the ball and keep him honest. And gets him with the play action bite, finds a wide open guy down the sideline, turns it up for a couple more yards, and he's out of bounds at the 29.
Like the misdirection on that play. The play starts off to the left, turn back, everything comes to the right.
Now from the 29, right hash. He's going to hand off here up the middle, first down and more. Tries to hit the spin, but good tackle by Central Michigan. Not until after he picked up the first down, though.
San Jose State really doing a good job just moving the chains this drive.
And right as you say that, good play by Central Michigan to contain on the outside and force a 2 yard loss. It's the first time he's had him behind the sticks a little bit. So are we going to see a good red zone stop here? A lot tighter here in the red zone.
you know, this close to the end zone, you have to weigh the options of do you try to go for it all here or just try to make a fourth and manageable.
Yeah, when it comes to player games, we've seen a lot of times field goals don't win you these games. But in a close game between two teams that are feeling each other out, it's always an option to take the point.
Even though it didn't work out, I really like the hurry up on that play just to not give the defense any time to think.
Yep, tries to push it in from the one, ends up losing a yard. Still second and two here, where you can still kind of try to run the ball. And he tries to go
Good
airborne over the
balls.
linebacker, picks up a yard doing it,
Really
but
thought he was Michael Jordan for a second. Wanted to be like Mike.
all right. he gonna continue to try to hammer here or hit him with the pass? And he bounces it outside
Threes.
and he squeezes through for the end zone. 6-0
Really,
San Jose.
Valley ever about Michigan, but the Central Michigan defense there to stop him at the goal line, but it's always
Yep.
difficult. 3 straight runs from the two.
Yeah. Yep. When all you need is that little, a lot of times you can just eventually hammer your way home. But it was good. Central Michigan made him work for that. That's for sure. All right, Central Michigan smartly takes the fair catch and is going to take the ball at the 25 after a
The
touchback.
veteran move from Central Michigan.
Now, this is a little bit of a different team than we're used to seeing from last year. And he starts off with the run, shrugs off the tackle, but is brought down after a 5-yard gain. Good pickup on first down.
Yeah, this is the team that doesn't really have any standout stars on the offensive side, so they're really going to have to get creative to score their points.
And bounces
Or
off
just
another tackle.
truck people. My God.
22 has made his presence be felt after 2 touches.
Number 20.
You say Michigan doesn't have a lot of stars. 22 is making his case. All right, another run. San Jose State contains the outside, keeps them to a 3-yard loss.
To give number 22 his credit, that's freshman Brock Townsend from Caledonia, Michigan. So a good debut from this freshman.
Finds the open man down the sideline, tries to break the tackle, but is brought down after a 10-yard gain, leaving a 3rd and short. Pretty manageable conversion here. And they send the blitz. It's going to be close to the first down, but he does get it.
Give it to him.
And that is number 0. That is Biggins. Biggums. Couldn't quite catch the name off the back of that jersey.
That's Nari Biggins, senior from Hillside, New Jersey, with that run.
When he bounces outside, slow down a little bit, bounces off another tackle, and he just won't be brought down. He reaches forward, almost picks up the first down.
Biggins got big on that run.
All right, a second and inches. Interesting to see what we'll see here. All right, little motion, gets the outside, big
Ooh,
play coming
it's a lot of
1-on-1,
open
hits
field
the
and a spin
spin.
move.
All right, good play, good play. Now we're in the red zone
Certainly.
down at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Central Michigan doing a good job here at just calling good plays, good mix of run and pass, not getting down after the early touchdown given up.
They really kept their head up and continued to fight in this game. Still early.
All right, too high safety look here out of San Jose State. Goes with the motion, hands it off the back for a small pickup, 3rd and 6. And we're brought to the end of the first quarter here.
Great start by both offensive. They put together good drives. We'll see if Central Michigan can finish this off here, but I love how
Talking
they
about
move
the
the ball down the field.
talking about the offenses, give credit to both the defenses here. I know Central Michigan gave up the touchdown, but they really played tough, and San Jose State is making Central Michigan work here on this 3rd down. Finds a guy in the flat, gets to the corner, 1st down, spin move, brought down at the 7.
Absolutely. Both these defenses, they've made The offenses work for those points, assuming Central Michigan gets something out of this drive unless disaster strikes. But
Fights forward for about a yard, keeping the ball on the ground. Tight windows here in the red zone. Typically, don't see a lot of passes, and they're sending the blitz here. Man, touchdown.
touchdown. Great throw by the quarterback. Quarterbacks look for their tight end when it gets down on the red zone, and there's no different there. They find that security blanket for the touchdown.
And we'll see the extra point go up here. And he doinks it. It is 6-7. Tough break from Central
You
Michigan.
absolutely hate to see that happen. Hopefully, that doesn't be a
Such a
deciding factor in the game, but
After such a productive drive, you really hate to see that and leave a negative taste in your mouth after what was a very good drive.
that kicker needs to turn his phone off after this game. Don't check social media.
All right, he's going to take this return from the one, finds a crease. Oh, there's daylight, kicker to beat. Juke to the outside, and he's running. Foot race. Is 84 going to catch him? No, he's not. Touchdown.
Wow. What a run. What a return by San Jose State.
Wow. And just like that, San Jose puts the pressure back on Central Michigan.
Game
Back-to-back
getting
plays
broken
not going
wide
good
open.
for Central Michigan. So if you're Central Michigan, you got to try not to press here. It's still a one-score game.
What a play by Jabari Bates, man, the junior running back. He hasn't gotten a lot of carries so far, but certainly made his impact on special teams.
Absolutely. All right, he's going to let the ball go over his head, touch back. He can take the ball at the 25. All right, we see defense out here in a two-high look, three wide receiver set. Fake the handoff, and he's going to throw it right to a San Jose State defender who's returning it for the touchdown. Jukes the one guy. Can he get the edge? No, he gets tackled. Good return after a ill-advised throw from Michigan State or
Really have
Central
to wonder
Michigan.
what the quarterback was seeing on that play. All I could see was San Jose defenders draped all over that receiver.
Yeah, that defender's not going to get a much easier touch or interception in his career. Motion, he gets the pitch. Good job with contain. He tries to circle back and is brought down for a 7-yard loss.
Thought he was Barry Sanders for a second, did not work out for him.
And just like that, Central Michigan kind of puts the pressure back on San Jose State.
If they can hold him to a field goal here, this is a successful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely successful here.
He tries to fit a tough window there, broken up by a good play by the defense. And you really don't have a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 17, especially in the red zone.
Absolutely not. You're kind of in desperation mode here, just trying to get anything out of this drive.
Play action, and he can't get it off. Michael Heldman is there for the sack. And he almost looked untouched through there. He had a full head of steam when he arrived at the quarterback.
Some kind of miscommunication by the offensive lineman, surely.
All right, he puts it up, and it is right down the middle. That is a 3 for San Jose State.
Made it look easy.
Good job by Central Michigan, though, holding tough and holding them to 3 after the mistake. That's a win for Central Michigan.
exactly that and just swallowed up that running back.
All right, we're seeing your call here. Drops back to pass. Hits a nice little out breaking route for a first down. Good pickup. Central Michigan really trying to establish the run here, but not much success on that play.
San Jose State's defense is doing a great job making it as difficult as possible to run that football.
But
Lots of defenders in the box.
we know anything about this user, he's not going to shy away from running the ball, and you got to commend that. Play action. He's going to hit it wide open in the flat. One man to beat. Hits a juke. Almost breaks another tackle, but here come the
That's
reinforcements.
Biggins again, man. He's had a phenomenal game.
These both these running backs from Central Michigan are really out here making plays today. Motion, he gets the handoff.
Yeah, those jet sweeps just aren't quite as good as they were in previous iterations of the Dynasty,
No, no, but it does make you respect the motion. If the eye candy never gets the ball, you'll never bite on it. Ooh, what a dime. This tight
Outside of
end
that
is,
one interception, the quarterback has had a phenomenal day. A 9 of 10 with a touchdown.
hey, ball hasn't hit the ground.
Sure hasn't. For
Another
better and for
motion.
worse.
I think he gets the hand up on the middle, shrugs off a tackle. Man, these Central Michigan defenders or these Central Michigan running backs are really, really imposing their will.
I know their running backs coach is smiling big on the sideline, watching his guys run
Screen
over him.
pass. Oh, and it goes over the head there. Tough break for Central Michigan. That was a big play developing.
Could have got somewhere there, honestly, with how that
Yeah.
it was developing.
Oh, he throws in a double coverage. San Jose State is there to make the deflection. 4th and 6, decision to make here. Do you take the points and make this a one-score game, or do you try to go and chase points?
Look like they're lining up for a kick here.
PvP game, you always got to be aware for the fake, but he's gonna take the kick right down the middle, good for 3.
Who would have thought? A kicking duel so far.
And now you got to wonder, does Central Michigan kick back off to the returner after the great return he had the last time?
Kicking it directly out of bounds is always an option. Not usually the best one, but something to consider if you can't keep out back of the end zone.
Hey, there's always squib. You'll give up some yards, but you know, all right, and he's gonna take it out again. No room to be found there. But hey, when you got an electric returner like that, you almost feel justified in bringing it out every time.
Absolutely. Can't fault that guy at all for bringing that one out. Kind of live with the results. Almost a heat check.
Both these teams really like their 2 tight end sets. He tries to go for his star tight end, Jackson Cannon, number 85 there. It's a flat route, makes one dude miss, pulls another dude forward for a couple of yards. 3rd and 7.
Nothing wrong with the check down. Sometimes it's all that's open. Gotta take yards when you can find them.
Hey, if you keep the underneath stuff and force teams to make tackles, that's that can be a winning strategy. Looks like the offense making some adjustments here. He's going to play action, and the defender's not fooled. He gets right to the quarterback. 4th and 14.
The Central Michigan defense has completely changed the narrative here. After giving up those points early, they have looked dominant on their last two drives.
In 4th and 14 here, you got to punt the ball. And that's exactly what we're going to see here. Here's Osa out for his first punt, and it's a good punt. The returner calls for the fair catch, even though he had some room to go there.
56 seconds left, 3 timeouts. Can certainly score a touchdown here. More
Absolutely.
than enough time to get points on the board.
You want touchdown, but more importantly, you want points. Nothing wrong with taking a field goal here, but with 50 seconds and 3 timeouts, you gotta be looking to push the ball.
Especially knowing you start with the ball in the second half. An opportunity to completely shift the momentum.
Ooh. And he tries to fit a window, is met by 2 defenders, drops the pass there.
If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well come down with it.
We're going to see a screen pass. He actually makes it there, shifts arms, cuts back inside, and is hammered.
These Central Michigan running backs continue to break tackle after tackle.
Yeah, you have some tight end timeouts to work with. So getting the ball into one of your playmakers' hands, seeing if he can break one. Good play call. 3rd and 6 here. He goes across the middle, outruns the defender, gets to the right hash. 40 seconds left, calls timeout. Got 1 timeout left. You got to kind of keep that in the pocket, you would think.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of blowing the timeouts early. Like first downs do stop the clock in college football. So
They do. They do. So a hurry up gets you back to the line with little to no runoff. You'd like to see him get out of bounds here and kind of save some of those timeouts. But one with 40 seconds, and he hits a big pass, but is hammered and dropped.
obviously would have been nice to complete that, but you live with the incompletion. Stops the
You know,
clock.
I was about to say, at least the positive is it stops the clock there. And his receivers must have said some outlandish shit because he is trying to send these boys to the hospital.
I was just about to say that's 2 straight hospital balls from the Central Michigan quarterback, man. Really brutal stuff.
I don't know if 86 was in his girl's DMs or what, but he's trying to
It
make
makes
sure
you
he doesn't
wonder.
finish this game. Ooh, tough contested catch attempt on the sideline, but good stand by San Jose State here. And if you're Central Michigan, you really got to think about just taking the points here. But it looks like they're going to line up and go for it here.
This would be a long field goal here. You're not sure you got it. Might as well go.
Ooh,
Oh,
tough break. He almost fits it in there, but the receiver can't quite get to it.
the receiver was open. The quarterback just completely missed him. Airmailed that one.
You know, and with 23 seconds and two timeouts by San Jose State, they might be thinking points here too, coming around at the
You got to be
38-yard
thinking at
line.
least a field goal here.
And they bizarrely use one of their timeouts here. I don't know what the coach was thinking there.
It was like he had a stroke on the sideline. Might have to check up on him.
All right, play action here. He's going to try to fit it into triple coverage. His can make some plays, but can also make you know, question what's happening.
Sure, Brett Favre is watching proud from whatever Mississippi prison he's in.
And we're gonna see a spike formation here. San Jose State must just be trying to take it into the half here with a knee.
Yeah, you have to think he meant to take a knee, but
Okay. We're getting a buzz in from the studio. Halftime coming up with interviews from coaches.
All right.
All right, and we're gonna go with Amir giving Morty a halftime interview here.
all right, Coach, what were you thinking with those two early timeouts and that last 2 minute drive that you had? Were you aware
I
that the clock stopped after you got first downs, or
I'll also pause it real quick before
uh,
we make
oh,
this kickoff.
oh, do we?
Yeah, someone just hit the pause button, one of the players.
Oh,
can
I
y'all
did,
pause
but
it?
it's
We have
not
to
a.
kick it
It's
first.
Oh,
Okay,
you
do
do
you have
have
to
to
kick
kick it.
it?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, a little delayed halftime here, but continue the interview.
so again, Coach, what was your thought process in those two timeouts early in that 2 minute
So
drive that you
the
had?
my offensive coordinator actually wanted me to take these timeouts because he thought he could make our quarterback into a gunslinger, so he could throw this ball out into the open. But I honestly think that next time, now that I know this, I'm new to this college football scene. I just came from the NFL. I've been up and around. So this half,
Well, Coach,
I'm liking our defense a lot. So let's just keep punching them in the mouth.
Coach, Dan Quinn let Kyle Shanahan make that same mistake on 28-3. So I wish you the best of luck in the second half.
Thanks. Hopefully our defense can punch them, and hopefully we can make some plays on offense because the first half was not looking too hot.
Thank you, Coach. All right, now we'll go to Coach James with the San Jose State Aztecs. Um, Coach, you jumped out early with your opening drive, and then Central Michigan answered right back, and it looked like it was going to be a dogfight, but then you bust the game wide open with a kick return for a touchdown. How did that give your team the spark to give you the edge going into halftime?
Um, I mean, I'm I'm good at returning kickoffs, and I feel like once you get up, you want to like keep pushing the score, and that's what my team will be able to do for the rest of the game.
All right, thank you, Coach James. Well, we're going to continue on into halftime, and I think you can expect to see San Jose State remain aggressive.
Like the confidence in the San Jose State coach. You know, you have to wonder about the team chemistry on Central Michigan after the head coach and the offense coordinator completely under the bus.
Yeah, you never want to see internal fighting from your coaching staff at halftime in a week one
of
game.
week one. You know, it's like it's hard to come back from that. We might have to see a firing soon on their end.
Yep, but first down, he gets a handoff of the middle, takes it up for 5. Solid run on first down.
Maybe they had a good heart to heart at halftime. The offensive coordinator may have straightened it out.
He admitted he was in his bag a little bit too much, and that was evident here with two straight handoffs to their playmakers that they're going to get back to roots and continue to do what was working for them. Dak box, but he finds
Like
the middle. Oh, shrugs off a big hit from number 8, but is brought down by the rest of the team.
a great run by number 0, Nari Bigums. Man, great game
You,
from him.
you know, you we got to keep circling back to these Central Michigan running backs because they are just the entire offense right now.
Arguably the most uh, impressive position group on either team.
Yes, yes, one could make that argument.
Both quarterbacks have had their woes. The receivers have dropped some balls. The defense has let some things slide, but the Central Michigan running backs have been consistent the whole game.
And a good drive here starting for Central Michigan. First half didn't go how they wanted it to, but it looks like they're gonna bounce back and
Oh,
not let that bother them.
number 7 laid a boom on that play from Central Michigan. I mean, from San Jose. Hopefully that Central Michigan receiver's all right. You have to worry about CT on a hit like that.
And 19 is gonna get to the sideline, tries to spin, but breaks a tackle. Maybe shouldn't have.
Hate to see a guy get punished for breaking a tackle like that, but it's unfortunate.
Hey, and that rewards these teams that just fly to the ball like this. On a motion here, it's a screen. It's a cross screen. He gets the edge, fighting to break off a tackle, but here come reinforcements, brought down to the 25. These halfback screens, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of in college football 26.
Absolutely. Not just these two teams, but oh, wow.
And Central Michigan goes for broke there and just tries to answer with one play there. The quarterback, he's not going to be proud of his mechanics on that play. I don't know that he even saw the receiver before he just threw it.
You know, it looked like the halfbacks were open on that play. I had some guys right in front of his face who were wide. Labas, the senior, maybe
He
trying to make an impression on some CFL teams.
hits a quick out route for a 6-yard gain. And Central Michigan's knocking on the door here, trying to keep this game close with San Jose State. Stretch run to the outside, make the
Oh,
cut
good
inside.
move.
Good move. Only nets him 2 yards though, and unfortunately, we're seeing a injury along the offensive line on Central Michigan.
Wear and tear is no joke this year. You really have to keep your players fresh. One of the
And up the
downsides to
middle,
running a hurry up offense, is you're going to see injuries start to pile up.
and it's going to be the left tackle, Jacob Russell, there with some bruised ribs. And I have a feeling, week one, we're going to see him, just try to get healthy on the bench, watch the backup come in. Handoff. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he
Gets in the
finds his
end zone.
way into the end zone for 6. And
I
this
like
is
that drive
Navri
from Central
Biggins.
Michigan.
Navri Biggins, 12 attempts, 45 yards, and a score right on that drive. And, he is arguably the MVP right now for this Central Michigan team.
3.75 yards carry isn't anything sexy, but I mean, he's certainly gotten the job done and broken a lot of tackles. The stat line is a little deceiving. His impact is well beyond his stat line.
Absolutely. And we're down to a 1-point game here after the Central Michigan kicker redeems himself and makes that extra point right down the middle. No questions.
And I'm sure that sideline is trying to think about what could have been had they made that extra point earlier. Could have been a tie game.
And we're going to see San Jose State break it out here. He's got a lane, but he's brought down into 24.
He's the type of returner you just hold your breath every time he starts running back.
All right, 3 wide receiver set, 11 personnel here. We're going to see some adjustments from the quarterback. Drops back to pass, hits a swing route, gets on the sideline, makes a juke, cuts it upfield for a 9-yard gain. We've seen a lot of second and short here from both of these teams. Really effective on first down and getting ahead of the stick. Just led to both these offenses. And 85 makes a sick cut. He's across the middle.
It's shocking this late in the game. That's only the 11th pass San Jose has thrown this game.
They haven't had the ball quite as much time as Central Michigan, and 85 gets a touchdown here or gets a Big
Jump
play
in
up
a
the
little bit there,
sideline.
partner.
Yep, I did. I did. Yeah, you circle back and you feel like 17 points in the way that San Jose State has moved this offense. It's surprising that the quarterback doesn't even have 100 yards passing yet.
Well, there's 100 right there for sure.
And now we're really starting to see 85 getting involved here. A little bit of a struggle to get the ball in his hands early in the first half, but obviously San Jose State making an effort to get their star player involved.
Yeah, the tight ends made a huge impact on this game from both teams. Both
And we're going to
quarterbacks.
go into the fourth quarter here with as close of a game as we could have hoped for. And both these teams are just clawing. Second and 7, right on the edge of the red zone here for our San Jose State. Makes a cut back inside, can't break the tackle, 4-yard gain.
Good tackle by number 2 on that one. To see a player in the secondary make a tackle like that, impressive.
3rd and 3 here. Don't know what you're going to see. Playbook's wide open. And he tries to get it to 85, but the quarterback's a bum and throws it away.
You couldn't tell it on that play, but that quarterback is one of the better players on San Jose State. Despite being a sophomore, he has one of the highest ratings on their entire team.
Yeah, and you can see that with the star underneath him. And he's going to go for it here on 4th down. Finds his stud tight end, but he gets stood up at the 4-yard line. But after a first down,
Despite the last errant pass, didn't shy away from going right back to the pass on that huge play.
nope. And if you're Central Michigan, you've got to be thinking about doubling number 85 because this is obviously where San Jose State wants to go with the football. But he's going to hand it off here and squeeze right between 2 defenders, just get in for a touchdown.
Tough run by the running back. That is number 3, Floyd Chalk the fourth, our senior out of Mission Hills, California. Despite being 5'7", he ran a lot bigger on that play.
Yes, he did. And there were probably a lot of San Jose State fans that were questioning the 4th down, going for it when you had points on the board in a 1-point game. But
Could have played it safe.
we knew San Jose State was going to be aggressive, and with the results, I don't think you can argue. And Central
Oh,
Michigan
that.
just presses a little bit too much and tries to force it on his very first play back. Still 6 minutes and 45 seconds. There's a lot of football to be played, and we've seen crazier things happen in this college football dynasty.
There is still plenty of time left, but if you're Central Michigan, you need to make a play here on defense, cause a turnover, get
And if
that
you're
ball back somehow.
and if you're San Jose State, that's exactly what you want to see. Runs for first downs and try to chew some of this clock away. If you
Absolutely.
can
If you're San Jose State, you're not in a rush to score whatsoever.
finds a receiver right on the sideline for a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1.
In a play like that, you still want to see the receivers try to get down inbounds, keep that clock going, put more and more pressure on Central Michigan to have to score quickly and often.
But we can see from the San Jose State offense, he is not concerned about being aggressive, and he's going for the throat here. He wants to go up by 2 touchdowns here, and he is going to.
Absolutely fearless. That running back is just so shifty, really slicing the defense on that run.
We're looking at a 15-point game here for Central Michigan, but with almost 6 minutes left to play, you cannot panic here. You have to go back to your offense, what was working to you, make your right read, and continue to drive the ball. Don't try to answer in one play. Central Michigan's going to hand the ball off on the first play. And time continues to run here after being brought down in bounds.
You have to be concerned about the clock. It's one score at a time, but have to make sure
Yep.
that there's enough time left to get those
Uh-huh.
scores off.
And he's going to get the first down, and you got to wonder if we'd see some hurry up. If I'm Central Michigan, I'm thinking I gotta pick up the tempo a little bit here. I'm down 2 scores, and I got to get the ball back quickly after one and get
And
a
if you're
2-point conversion.
and if you're San Jose, you're thinking, I'll live with all of this.
Yeah,
You want to
if
keep the
he's
ball in bounds? Be
keep
my
everything
guest.
in front of you and continue to watch this clock run is exactly what you want to see in Jose State. Hits it out breaking route, and he cuts it back inside instead of taking it out of bounds and stopping the clock. You got to wonder what he was thinking there. Awareness maybe on 10.
Number 19, man, he just would have got that block. It could have been a touchdown right there, and exactly what Central Michigan was looking for. But
Central Michigan tries to hand off. This clock keeps ticking after a 1 yard game. He's going to go up under center, which is something we really don't see from this user. He's making some plays, calling some adjustments, and he's going to spike
just
the
spike
ball
the
here.
ball.
I think we got a question if both of these coaches have had a stroke at some point during this game.
I think that's a fair question to ask. Some of these decisions, I understand it's the heat of the moment, but you're getting paid big bucks to coach these Division One schools.
And San Jose applies some pressure, hits the quarterback as he tries to throw. We're looking at 4th down. And this is ball game here, really.
Do or die from Central Michigan here. Really need to dig deep. And they do. What a huge play.
But it's smacked, and we're gonna get a injury timeout here. Um,
Some severe wear and tear from that
I
tight end.
I think DeCorian's arm may not be in the right place because that shit
Are
is
we
almost falling off.
are we sure it's still attached? Oh,
And he tries to force a ball here and gets picked off.
you have to give the San Jose defense credit. When the ball has gone to them, they have just taken advantage of every misplaced pass. I feel like they've intercepted all of them.
Yes, as if it has hit hands, they have capitalized on it. And San Jose State takes a 4 yard loss here. So Michigan's not completely dead, but they are
You
going to
hate to
have to
say
get
it.
a very quick stop and
It
score in a
looks like San
hurry.
Jose is just trying shit at this point, almost to taunt the
And
Central
he
Michigan
and
defense.
Central Michigan makes a play, and they're not dead yet.
To
Three
further
minutes
my
and
point,
14 seconds. They are going to have to score and score quickly.
don't want to take your foot off the gas. It's not over yet.
And 22 breaks the tackle, but you got to wonder why Central Michigan isn't airing the ball out here.
I have to wonder if they trust their receivers or this quarterback at this point. I mean, 3 interceptions.
Oh, and
Have
he
to be
breaks the
wondering.
tackle. Clock is still ticking. Central Michigan seems to be allergic to these sidelines. That would certainly help them out. But he cuts it back upfield and is going to score. So maybe I should shut the fuck up.
He said, "Be damned with throwing the football and going
he
out of
wanted
bounds."
he wanted the yards, and he got them and the score.
They'll take the extra point here if they score again. If they can get a stop on San Jose, the fake.
And he
Oh,
overthrows it, and now we're looking at a 9-point game. And this is a 2-score game. You almost wonder if he should have just kicked the extra point and tried to get the two after. But You needed a 2 point anyways.
Wow, that was a complete disaster. The guy was completely open. You did everything right. As a coach, that one has to make you just pull your hair out.
Yeah, you're right. Not the result they wanted, um, but they certainly bid on the fake. And San Jose State's going to find a wide open guy hitting across the middle for a slant. 20, 10, touchdown, and this game's over.
Man, just two back-breaking plays back to back for Central Michigan. You completely overthrow on the fake, and now a slant route, giving up about 70, 80 yards is just brutal stuff.
You know, and if you're Central Michigan, you got to take a look back at the film after this one, and you got to have a real conversation with your quarterback about some of these windows he was trying to fit.
Absolutely. You know, I think you would have to have the question about, is it worth it to continue playing this quarterback? Do you look at a backup and see maybe it's time to give somebody else a try?
And they're going to continue to fight, but maybe a little too late here, down 16. But it is a two-score game, and we have seen crazy stuff happen. They're going to have to air it out. He catches it, breaks a tackle, brought down by the reinforcements. Clock is ticking here. Can they get another play off before the 2-minute warning? And they
They
will.
will.
Hand off up the sideline, and that's a good time to call a run play, knowing that the clock's going to stop.
Some quality garbage time stats going on right now.
All right, we're going to see continuation of the hurry up. Defense rotates over to the right. Too high safety look. Yeah, he's finding plenty of blue jerseys. Unfortunately, that's the wrong color.
Begs the question: is he colorblind? Can he see? Is he able to see his own players' jerseys?
As a Washington fan, there is times that I question this myself watching a Rex Grossman led team. So he wouldn't be the first quarterback that's been asked.
Sexy Rexy gets swing it, but
And San Jose
not
State just
exactly.
continuing to put the foot down.
As the kids would say, this is belt to ass.
And, this was a really good start by Central Michigan, and unfortunately, they just collapsed here late in the second half. But it's a long season, and you can certainly bounce back.
It's only up from here.
You know, Sometimes in my experience, it's almost worth getting your ass kicked. You know, it'll light a fire under you, and on week one, there's a lot of season left.
Often you learn more from losses than you do from victories. So, see a lot of learning from this Central Michigan team.
But 89 still out there fighting. At this point, it's just about trying to put some stuff on film. And another pick by San Jose State. They're all over this quarterback. And San Jose State making some adjustments here. Not content, they look like, to just run the ball and eat clock. But they're going to take a delay a game here. And, if I were on that Michigan State team, I might have to throw hands. With that Central Michigan team, I might have to throw hands after that delay a game because now you're just running it up. And he's going to go deep for a star tight end. Ooh, and he is just bodied by a Central Michigan defender. San Jose State still taking shots up 23. He's going to go back to the tight end. Double coverage, and he's tackled before the ball gets there. Maybe it could have been a flag. Third and 15. He's going to hit a flat route, but is tackled immediately. No gain. Clock continues to run, and it looks like San Jose State is going to keep the offense out here. Just putting a little salt in the wound here. Central Michigan coming out. Everybody pressing. And he fires it out of bounds. Central Michigan's going to get this back with 20 seconds left and 40 on the 44-yard line. Unfortunately, no shot to win the game here, but situational football reps are always worth it. And he's going to take a shot, double coverage. Almost fits a window there, but incomplete. This quarterback hasn't had the best day, but he continues to go out there and sling it. And another pick by the San Jose State defense.
Is that interception 4 or 5 from that defense? This is impressive.
It may be 6. There have been a lot of interceptions by the Central Michigan team. I think going into week 2, as a coaching staff, you got to have a real conversation about next man up. And 85 makes a contested catch. He's one-on-one, one man to beat. Gives him a little juke, goes back outside, and he's going to outrun for a touchdown with zeros on the clock.
Just rubbing salt in the wound there. I mean, I know that, like